Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and we're talking about PlayStation. We're talking about 1440p support for the next gen consoles going forward. This is kind of a double-edged sword for the gaming for gaming in general. Now that PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are both compatible with 1440p monitors, essentially giving you better image quality than you would be able to get with a 4K screen. That kind of does change things, and like I just said, it's a double-edged sword because now developers are going to feel a lot more comfortable shooting just for 1440p with higher settings and stuff going forward. And I believe that is going to be the case because as it really does sit, and I can only base this off my own experience, with the PC, being able to run a native 4K on my 4K screen with higher quality settings on a lot of games. Not every game. There's some games that I can't, run at the highest settings with ray tracing and everything like that on my 4K screen. I mean, it's only a 3060 Ti, but being able to see that running natively on a 4K screen and then seeing what the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 can do, it's kind of a double-edged sword because when you go from these higher settings and you get the settings that we are getting on these next-gen consoles, you are getting a really close experience. Pretty close experience on the Xbox Series X. PlayStation 5 kind of lags a little bit, mainly on the third-party games. It does fall behind, and it is more noticeable on a 4K screen. You can just watch the breadth of content that I've put out over the last year and a half, and you can just kind of see my disdain for the PlayStation 5 on a 4K screen. Like it's never really delivered that full experience that I've been like, oh yeah, man. Horizon Forbidden West with the new patch got tremendously closer. Like it really did get a lot closer. But as we move forward, man, a lot of us gamers play a lot of third-party games. So the fact that these developers can now utilize a native 1440p resolution and give you higher settings. Because, my PC, I can do 1440p with max settings, max ray tracing on almost everything I've played, and it looks incredible. On a 1440p monitor, it looks incredible. Now the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 are both going to natively support 1440p to a 1440p monitor. I think this opens up a lot of possibilities for a lot of gamers. 1440p with max settings is still going to look pretty good. Pretty decent on a 4K screen. Like it'll still look pretty good for the average, casual gamer that wants to sit, 8 feet away from their TV and experience these games. 1440p is going to be pretty solid on a 4K screen for you. Like you're going to be all right. I'm sure the developers will still try to hit the elusive 4K target, whatever. Some of them are going to do better than others. But I would really like to see these developers really dial down and really deliver a really high quality 1440p experience going forward for people like myself and others that might be interested in essentially picking up a 1440p monitor to really be able to to get the best bang for your buck out of these consoles is going to be 1440p. At 1440p, we're already seeing this. There's already precedent since the consoles launched for native 1440p running at 120 frames a second. Games like Dirt 5, games like Call of Duty, all these other games that are effectively, the PlayStation's getting some pretty decent ones at 1080p, but I feel like that's only because the PlayStation 5 would only support native 1080p or 4K. Because I feel like the PlayStation 5 could definitely deliver 1440p. Like we had Tony Hawk's. I have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 5 as well as the Xbox Series X. On my Xbox Series, I get a native 1440p at 120 frames a second. On my PlayStation 5, it's 1080p. But I do believe that game could potentially hit 1440p. I think it should be able to with the new visuals and everything. I think it could definitely do that on the PlayStation 5. I don't think. I mean, me personally, I've been saying this on this channel for a long time. I think the PlayStation 5 is a solid 1440p machine, and I stand by that. And now that I actually have actual physical proof of my PlayStation 5 running at a native 1440p, I 100% believe that, and I do want to see games like Gran Turismo 7 get a 1440p ray tracing mode on track. Like, I would love to see that. And with the new upcoming Forza, I would love to see them give us a couple modes. I want to see Forza Horizon 5 get a native 1440p with ray tracing, and like, this opens up more possibilities for us to be able to take advantage of more of the system, more of what the system. The biggest thing, guys, the biggest thing with doing 4K is the VRAM. The VRAM, it's so expensive in VRAM. You need at least, like I was saying in an earlier video, you need at least a minimum of 10 gigabytes of VRAM on a graphics card to really push for higher settings on a lot of games. Some of these games take way more, but you need at least 10 gigabytes of VRAM. Both of these consoles have 16 gigs. The PlayStation 5 has the 16 gigs, all running at the same speed. The Xbox Series X has the 10 and the 6, and it's kind of like a split memory base or whatever. So with the Series X, it does have the 10, but then the 6 or whatever. I mean, at the baseline. So you are gonna see a lot of games. I mean, all of them are going to have custom settings. You're not going to get the same settings that you have for PC going forward. But both of these consoles are going to be able... I mean, like, the PlayStation 5 should be able to give you... I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like, it's really hard, and I don't want to... like, rile up the fanboys on either side. I don't want you guys to get all riled up. Like, this is awesome. 1440p support on a 1440p monitor. I encourage you to try it and check it out for yourself. I'm not going to sit here and be like Digital Foundry and be like, oh yeah, this is it. No, man. Try it for yourself. That's what I did. I tried it for myself, and I'm impressed. I'm more impressed most of the time with these games on a 1440p monitor than I am on my 4K. It just looks sharper. It looks better. Both of these consoles, if they shoot for a higher resolution and they super sample down, that just it adds more density. I mean, the PlayStation 5 as well as the Xbox Series X, it looks incredible running at 1440p. Since I've gotten these monitors and I've been doing my live streaming, man, I rarely turn my 4K TV on to play games on it anymore. Like, I rarely touch it. I got these two monitors for the same price, or for less money than I paid for that OLED, and that's good for me. I could have had 3 monitors for the price I paid for that OLED. That's what I'm saying, man. You can get more bang for your buck on a 1440p monitor and still be able to use all the 120 hertz and all the other stuff. The only thing you're leaving on the table with the monitors is really Dolby Vision. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure the PlayStation 5 is going to pack in the VRR support for the 1440p mode. It's going to take a while, just like with everything on the PlayStation 5. Like I've said this a million times, it's in early access. It's clearly in early access. It's almost been 2 years just to get us 1440p beta. I'm pretty sure this update feels pretty smooth, so you'll probably have this one pretty quickly, just like you did with the SSD, and the other things that have come to in the VRR. I've tested all of these. You should have all of these fairly quickly when it comes to the updates. They should come out pretty good. This is a pretty stable update so far. But yeah, man, I think this is a double-edged sword. I think that a lot of people on 4K TVs are going to be pretty disappointed, or not pretty disappointed. You guys might be disappointed because some developers might shoot for the 1440p with higher settings and stuff, and I don't think that's a bad thing. It should still look good on a 4K TV, but I would like to see them shoot for 2 modes. I would like to see them shoot for 2 modes. I would like, if they're gonna do from now on, this is basically what I'm saying, because they already are shooting for 2 modes. I would really like to see them really focus heavily on a 1440p mode that just give that one like all the bells and whistles, everything you could possibly imagine, but still cater to the 4K people so that they can still get a solid experience on a 4K screen. But I would like to see the performance modes all be native 1440p max settings and really push them as hard as they can go going forward. That's basically the gist of this video, what I was making this video for, because I'm pretty excited about 1440p going forward. As you can tell, I've put out countless videos of it over the last couple of days because it is intriguing to me. It does deliver it delivers a better experience, both visuals and performance, and you don't have to compromise. Like, you don't have to compromise. And that was probably the biggest thing that was really bugging me about the PlayStation 5, is because a lot of them performance modes were coming out at 1440p, but I had no way to experience that. It was either downgraded on my 4K or not as good as it could be trying to play it on a 1080p on a 1440p monitor. Now it's great. Now it's great. It's exactly where it needs to be, and I hope that we see more of this going forward. I hope that we see better utilization of 1440p modes with a baseline 60 frames per second with way higher settings, possibly way better ray tracing. Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man with the performance RT modes on the 1440p monitor look incredible. It looks great. It looks perfect. It looks the way it should look, and I want to see more of that. I think that's a higher selling point for both PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X going forward. To be able to give you everything at 1440p and then still deliver a decent enough 4K image, a 4K mode, that's pretty cool, man. Like, this generation's pretty exciting. This generation is pretty exciting, and this is making, you know, having both of these to be able to support this going forward, it is. Sony getting into the 1440p is definitely going to push everything forward. Now a lot more people are going to talk about it, and now it's going to be important. But yes, Xbox gets 100% credit for that, man. They've been supporting that for a while. I do plan on making a video here today about the Xbox One S and its VRR support. So that way, that might start another fire under Sony's butt to be able to at least give us the same VRR support that we have on the Xbox One S. That would be awesome, because that all works on my monitor and that all works on my 4K. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching. This is awesome. I never thought that this channel would go as far as it has. So yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.